Anthem 12, De Profundis. Welcome to Anthem 12 in my attempt to write a new choir anthem every week for a year. I'm Kevin Mulrine and I hope you will enjoy listening to my progress throughout 2024. Please do visit the website anthem52.com, follow along on x.com or Instagram at realanthem52, and send me a message to show@anthem52.com. Another mixed week ended rather well. As soon as I spotted that one of the psalms set for this week was cxxx, 130, I knew I had to set it. The biggest reason for this was that the name of this psalm in Latin is De Profundis. There can't be a better anthem name in existence. Also, the words in English are highly descriptive. Out of the deep have I called unto thee, O Lord. Lord, hear my voice. O let thine ears consider well the voice of my complaint. If thou, Lord, will be extreme to mark what is done amiss, O Lord, who may abide it? For there is mercy with thee, therefore shalt thou be feared. I look for the Lord, my soul doth wait for him. In his word is my trust. My soul fleeth unto the Lord before the morning watch. I say, before the morning watch. O Israel, trust in the Lord, for with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption, and he shall redeem Israel from all his sins. Great stuff. I do know at least two settings of this text, of course. Both the Thomas Morley version and the Hilton Stewart are great. And I've embedded videos of those in the show notes for this week. I'm a lot less keen on the Rutter version, but I'm probably prejudiced. Anyway, my own version gave me a chance to include some dramatic contrasts. The opening section is very slow and melancholy, moving from quiet pleading to fortissimo in a few bars. There are a lot of sustained, slowly shifting chords in there. More movement is added at the words, O let thine ears consider well, and I play with the time signature at the end of phrases, removing a beat here and there for effect. It's possible this kind of articulation could come from the conductor, and I don't need to worry about writing it in, but I will only really know that when, and if, anyone is brave enough to give the anthem a go for real. Living in G minor initially, the music seemed to want to add a flat for just 6 bars, so I let it. It's probably not even noticeable if you don't have the sheet music in front of you, and the same goes for the fluid meter. 4/4 changes to 3/4, and 2/4 also makes an appearance at times. I haven't worried too much about the tonality and just wrote what felt right. The final section of the piece shifts into a major key to emphasize the positive nature of the words from O Israel, trust in the Lord, or at least I took them to be positive when I read them this week. I added in some quaver, that's 8th note movement, and finished off in triumphant fortissimo fashion with some interesting chords. I was quite pleased with it all, but was nervous of transferring it to the Logic Pro, as I didn't want to be upset by the way it sounded over there, as in previous weeks. Fortunately, I stripped out all the MIDI instructions apart from the notes, and asked Charlotte, my daughter, to show me once again how to add automation to the tempo and dynamics in Logic. This worked fine once I got the hang of it, but the music was all very quiet and I couldn't see how to beef it up a bit. While walking the dog, however, it occurred to me that I could simply duplicate the tracks I had for women's and men's voices, and that would make it louder, wouldn't it? In fact, I ended up blending the Spitfire Audio Epic Choir plugin with another free one, and I was very surprised to find that it worked rather well. It's far from a great choir sound, and if I had the time, I would have refined the tempos, particularly the ritardandos and the ending pause, but I think it's a lot better than some previous attempts. You may disagree, but take a listen and see. What do you think? Let me know on x.com or Instagram at realanthem52 as a comment on the show notes for this week, or via email show@anthem52.com. Before I go this week, I'd like to congratulate Paul Walton and Tim Popple for successfully printing and sending out the Descants Are for Life copies. My wife and I received our copies and were delighted to see that Paul had included the descant he wrote for our wedding 30 years ago this year, complete with a dedication. What a lovely surprise. I hope you'll join me next week for a new episode, and I do hope it'll feature my second interview and a new anthem. Only 40 to go. But until then, the question remains, will I make it to Anthem 52?